Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Relationships can be tough. We've all had those moments where we feel a little bit insecure, a little bit afraid of being left behind. And that's totally normal, but sometimes those fears can run a little deeper and might be signs of something called abandonment issues. So today, we're going to dive into 7 signs that might suggest you've got some of those abandonment issues bubbling beneath the surface. Okay, let's talk about intimacy. It's a word that often gets thrown around, but what does it really mean? And no, I don't mean the kind that requires mood lighting and Barry White, although who doesn't love a little Barry White? I'm talking about something deeper, something more profound. I'm talking about emotional intimacy. Really letting someone in, sharing your deepest thoughts and feelings. It's about being open, honest, and vulnerable with another person. Now, for someone with abandonment issues, this can feel terrifying. The idea of letting someone see the real you, flaws and all, can be overwhelming. It's like you're opening yourself up to this huge risk, making yourself vulnerable to being hurt if that person decides to leave. The fear of being left alone can be paralyzing. So you might find yourself putting up walls, keeping people at arm's length, even if you really, really like them. It's a defense mechanism, a way to protect yourself from potential pain. It's like you're saying, nope, not getting close, not gonna happen. You convince yourself that it's better to be alone than to risk getting hurt. But here's the thing, pushing people away only makes that fear of abandonment even stronger. It becomes a vicious cycle, where the more you isolate yourself, the more you fear being abandoned. Breaking this cycle requires courage and a willingness to be vulnerable. It means taking small steps to let people in, to trust that not everyone will leave. It's about finding those who truly care about you and allowing them to see the real you. Because, in the end, true intimacy is about connection, understanding, and mutual support. So, take a deep breath and take that first step towards emotional intimacy. It might just be the most rewarding journey you'll ever embark on. Alright, let's be honest, trust is like this super fragile thing, right? It's like a delicate little flower that needs constant care and attention. But when you've been hurt in the past, when someone's walked out on you, it can feel like that trust has been completely shattered. And it makes sense. If someone's left you before, your brain's like, hold on, this could happen again. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. So you might find it really hard to let your guard down and truly believe that someone's going to stick around. Okay, so you know how sometimes you just want to hold on to something really tight, like a big old teddy bear? It's comforting, right? That feeling of security and warmth can be so soothing, especially when you're feeling vulnerable or anxious. Well, for someone with abandonment issues, that something might be their partner. They might feel the need to hold on just as tightly, if not more, to feel that same sense of security. It's like their partner becomes their emotional anchor in a stormy sea. And listen, we all love a good cuddle, but when you're constantly clinging on to someone, it can be a sign that you're terrified of them leaving. This fear can be overwhelming and all-consuming, making it hard to focus on anything else. It's like you're saying, don't you dare go anywhere without me. This kind of behavior can stem from past experiences of loss or rejection, making it difficult to trust that someone will stay. And while it comes from a place of fear, it can actually push people away, which, let's be honest, is the exact opposite of what you want. The irony is that the more you cling, the more you might drive your partner away, creating a cycle of anxiety and insecurity. It's important to recognize these patterns and work towards building a healthier, more balanced relationship. Chapter 4, Low Self-Esteem. All right, let's talk about self-esteem for a minute. It's basically how much you value and appreciate yourself. And when you've experienced abandonment, it can be really easy to internalize that rejection and start thinking, well, maybe I'm not worthy of love. Maybe I'm not good enough. And that, my friends, is a recipe for low self-esteem. You might find yourself constantly seeking validation from others, trying to prove your worth, because deep down, you don't quite believe it yourself. Chapter 5, Overreacting to Conflict. You know how some people just love a good debate? They find it stimulating and engaging, almost like a mental exercise. They thrive on a little bit of conflict, seeing it as a way to grow and learn from different perspectives. Well, for someone with abandonment issues, conflict can feel like a 5-alarm fire. It's not just a disagreement, it's a threat to their very sense of security. Even the tiniest disagreement can trigger those deep-seated fears of being left behind. Their mind races with worst-case scenarios. It's like their brain goes into overdrive thinking, oh no, they're going to leave me. Every word and gesture is scrutinized for signs of rejection. This is it. I'm going to be abandoned. The fear becomes all-consuming, overshadowing the actual issue at hand. And that can lead to some pretty intense reactions like getting super defensive, shutting down completely, or even lashing out. These reactions are often misunderstood by others who may not realize the depth of the fear driving them. Understanding this can help in managing these reactions. Techniques like deep breathing, talking to a therapist, or even journaling can provide some relief. With time and effort, it's possible to reframe these fears and respond to conflict in a healthier way, fostering better relationships and personal growth. Chapter 6. Avoiding emotional vulnerability. Alright, let's be real, opening up emotionally is hard for everyone. It's like you're standing there in your birthday suit, completely exposed and vulnerable. But for someone with abandonment issues, it can feel downright impossible. They might avoid talking about their feelings, keeping everything bottled up inside because they're terrified of being judged or, even worse, rejected. It's like they're building this emotional fortress around their heart, thinking, if I don't let anyone in, then they can't hurt me. Chapter 7. Constant need for reassurance. Okay, imagine you're on this emotional roller coaster, and you just need someone to tell you it's going to be okay, that you're safe. That's kind of what it's like for someone with abandonment issues. They crave constant reassurance from their loved ones, needing to hear over and over again that they're loved, that they won't be left behind. It's like they're trying to fill this void inside themselves, this fear that's always lurking beneath the surface. Outro. Finding your strength. Listen, dealing with abandonment issues can be tough, but it's so important to remember that you're not alone. Millions of people struggle with these same fears, and there is hope. By understanding the roots of these issues and learning healthy coping mechanisms, you can break free from the cycle of fear and build strong, fulfilling relationships. Remember, you are worthy of love, you are capable of trust, and you deserve to feel secure in your relationships.